Welcome to an episode of r/malicious compliance, where we share stories of people conforming to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. Sit back and enjoy these stories, and at the end of this video, make sure to like and comment, and definitely subscribe if you have not already done so. Enjoy. And this story is posted by u/mindseller. My mom decided to teach my school-age self to fart in the bathroom. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, my mom suddenly decided to teach my sister and I to hold our farts until we entered the bathroom. I have no clue why. Maybe she got tired of us letting one rip when the urge came upon us. This might have been a very useful skill to have because as a child, I used to hold my farts the whole school day and let them go like a bat out of hell the minute I walked through the door at home. Unfortunately for her, I thought farts were the funniest thing on earth and that they could be used with close family as a tool for my own humorous needs. So she randomly tells us from this point forward, we are to only fart in the bathroom. We lived in a single family home with only one bathroom, so I would hold my farts all day until I heard her not only enter the bathroom, but sit on the toilet and start using it. I would then open the door, stick only my butt into the room, and let go of the farts I had been holding. I would then close the door and say, "Excuse me," and walk away to laugh. After a few days, the only fart in the bathroom rule was ditched. And this story is posted by u/Machines Godiva. My cooking is too heavy with too many cream-based sauces and seasoning? Okay, plain it is. So my husband and I live with his mother. She basically sits in her recliner and takes advantage of me working, my streaming services, and my eventual frustration at things not getting done, so I do it myself. My husband is disabled and it's hard for him to do much more than laundry and some dishes and light cooking. I work 50 plus hours a week in a restaurant, even though all this crap the last few months. I've remained full-time. The food my store serves isn't the healthiest, so I try to only bring home leftovers as a treat for me not to have to cook. Now, I have a very Midwestern, German, hearty way of cooking. I make a lot from scratch, but I also know how to utilize condensed soups and elevate a hamburger helper. My husband loves my cooking, and I'm always taste testing things on him. We love cooking together and have always been experimental and trying new things. This stopped when we moved in with his mom because she's very, very picky. She used to cook her share and we would get by that way. But slowly over time, she got flogging lazy and now won't do more than microwave ramen or make a sandwich. It's fine. Whatever. But my husband can't stand up long enough to cook a whole lot either, so it falls on me. 10-hour day on my feet be darned. I revel in my husband's enjoyment of my cooking. That brings me joy. So, his new favorite dish of mine, I can't tell you the clever name because it's named after a certain situation we are dealing with as a country, but it is clever. It utilizes meat on hand, mostly chicken, condensed soups since flour and butter was hard to find, milk, I had plenty of powder in the freezer, we had plenty of frozen veggies of all kinds, and a buttload of rice. I usually use cream of mushroom or celery and a couple cans of mushrooms with peas and carrots, all creamy and good over rice. But last week I was on my weekly shop and saw cream of broccoli and cheddar cheese soup. That sparked an idea because hubby loves broccoli soup and cheese. So I made the fixings with that and a bag of frozen broccoli. Ooh, was he happy. And it was good. Anyway, a few days ago, hubby lets me in that Mill was complaining about my cooking. Not the first time. I hear it all the time how I don't do things right, aka not how she does it. I went on a cooking strike for a while until she whined about she's spending too much on takeout. Like, really? There's a full pantry and you are getting takeout every day? She complained that my meals were too heavy and had too much salt and pepper and she didn't like all the cream sauces. But she eats like 3 servings. So, cue malicious compliance. I didn't go on a cooking strike this time. I made dinner tonight. Husband wanted the chicken and broccoli with rice again. So we went to the store, got the stuff, and came home. Plan all hatched in the car and my husband thought it was brilliant. I must also add that husband and I both love spicy food, but generally only add chili sauce or extra spice to our individual plates because Mill doesn't like spice. Relevant later. I cut up the chicken, but I save out about half a breast worth. Huge breasts of frozen chicken, like turkey size. I cook most of it with copious amounts of garlic and butter and ranch powder like always. But on a separate skillet, I only add some olive oil and her chicken. No salt or pepper or garlic. I saute it up and set it aside. I then make the cream sauce and add most of the broccoli, saving about half a cup out and steam it. I made the rice like always, but reserved a half cup plain and added the rest to the fixings and mix it up. Husband taste tests and tweaks, and then he surprised me. He added black pepper and our favorite chili seasoning to it. I'm wide-eyed and my mouth is watering. I dish up the plain rice, broccoli, and chicken in a bowl and hand it to my husband. Mill can't be bothered with coming to get her own dinner. We must take it to her. He's giggling like a child. I just smile and feel satisfied that maybe she will like her dinner now. I dish up a bowl of fixings for myself and head to the bedroom where binge TV is waiting. I hear the exchange though. Here's your dinner, Mom. Oh, well, what's this? I thought Godiva was making fixings. Oh, she did. But I told her what you said after her last batch, and she wanted to make you something more to your palate. Well, why did you tell her that? I told you that in confidence. I didn't want to set her up for failure, and she wants you to like her cooking. So I told her so she'd have a chance to fix it. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, I guess. Husband joins me, all grins. We eat, and he hears her shuffle to the kitchen. Can I have a little cream sauce for my chicken? Husband replies, go for it, but I did put black pepper and chili powder in it. We didn't think you wanted any, so we added our spices. Oh, okay. I think she ended up adding some salt or something, but no cream sauce. She ate it. She then let us know that she was thinking of making dinner tomorrow since I always do the cooking. Gotcha. Go for it. I'm not a fan of her cooking either, but I welcome any day I don't have to cook. And this story is posted by u/CoderJoe1. Arrogance plus apathy equals chemical spill. As an X-ray tech student in the U.S. Army in the mid-'80s, we had to do several weeks of OJT, on-the-job training, after finishing our school training, and I was assigned to a hospital in El Paso, Texas. Normally, we were assigned to work in a different area each week. I especially enjoy fluoroscopy and special procedures week. I don't remember what rotation I was assigned at the time, but was surprised when the student leader told me I was going to spend the day cleaning film processors. It didn't bother me as I had seen it demonstrated in the school, but had never done it before. I was told to find SP4 Slacker for directions. I called him Slacker because that was his personality, not his name. While I was temporarily assigned to this hospital as a student, Slacker was permanent and considered part of the staff of X-ray techs. I found him taking a nap in an unused X-ray room. After rousing him, he walked me through cleaning the first processor before giving me the list of other processors and then returning to his nap with instruction to wake him when I was done. It wasn't a difficult task. Each processor had 2 tanks of chemicals, one for developer and the other for fixer. I have to drain these tanks and then clean and rinse the tanks and rollers before putting the rollers back in place and refilling the tanks with fresh chemicals. Each room with the processor also had a large floor drain for the chemicals, so it was a simple matter of placing the drain hoses into the drain opening and release a valve. As I was finishing my third processor, the NCOIC, non-commissioned officer in charge, stopped by and got my attention by stiffly commanding, "Private, come with me." He walked me down the hall to the chest room, which had its own dedicated film processor. He told me to do this one next and to use the new floor drains. He pointed out the gleaming new porcelain drain that was sunk into the floor a few foot away from the old metal one. Now, I was standing nearly on top of the drains while he was still by the open door of the room several meters away. I looked down and saw that the new drain was not connected to any pipes. I knew this because I could see someone's desk through the bottom of the drains. I quickly tried to explain, "Sergeant, I don't think it's ready for it." He sternly cut me off. "Private, I said use the drain. The contract reported to me that it's finished and ready for use. No arguments." I wasn't unaccustomed to being ordered around. As a private, nearly everyone outranks you. Nevertheless, I tried once again to explain. "But Sergeant, I can see..." He cut me off again with a surly, "Just do what you're told, Private," and walked away shaking his head. Now you can see where this is going. I always tried to be a good soldier, but at the moment I could see that this sergeant was in greater need of an education than me. Nevertheless, I tried to find a better course of action. Buying myself time to think, I did everything I could to forestall using the drain. I cleaned the racks and even the outer panels of the processor when specialist slacker popped his head into the door and snarled, "What's taking so long?" Finally, I had the chance to form an alliance with this person they placed between me and the boss, NCOIC. I quickly tried to explain, but Slacker cut me off. "Just hurry up, I want to get to lunch." Then he walked out before I could reply. I actually had one more processor to clean, so I went and did that one, leaving the chest room processor in disarray. I was surprised nobody bothered me about it, but inevitably I had to return to the chest room. I placed both drain hoses into the new drain, peeking through to make sure nobody was currently sitting at the desk. I did yell into the drain, "Stand back, chemicals coming through," before I opened the valves and stood by, waiting for the storm. About 2 minutes later, I heard the thunder coming down the hall. The NCOIC, followed by a handful of other staff, was shouting, "Shut it down, Private! Shut off the valve now!" I heard this before they were even halfway down the hall, so I quickly shut both valves and stood as they stormed into the room. I held up my hands and simply said, "It's off now." The NCOIC already knew what happened. He looked ready to beat on me, but didn't. He didn't demand an explanation, but he didn't have to. His staff quickly asked for one, and I told them how I tried to tell the NCOIC about the drain not being connected, but that he cut me off and ordered me to use it. Several of them glanced at their boss, and the truth was self-evident by his expression. Then they asked why I didn't tell anyone else, so I explained, trying to tell Slacker about it and how he blew me off as well. They asked where Slacker was, so I told them where I last seen him. One of the sergeants quickly retrieved Slacker and explained he was found napping in the X-ray exam room. That was the moment that SP4 Slacker took the brunt of the blame for this incident. I was completely off the hook, and I believe the NCOIC did indeed learn his lesson as well. The rest of my student experience wasn't impacted at all by this incident, although I almost got in trouble for doing an unauthorized spinal tap on a patient, but that's a whole different story that had nothing to do with this incident. This has been TNA Top Notch Audio. 3 great funny stories. And my question to you is, which one of these stories are your favorites and why? Share your comments below, and also don't forget to subscribe so you can get notification of more videos in the future. Have yourselves a great day.